So today I want to show you how much we made so far with our Airbnb account in 2022. Now this is our only property we currently have, and we live in the Phoenix area, and that's where our Airbnb is also being hosted at. So let's actually hop over here on the computer so you can follow along with me. Obviously I blocked out the number so you can see it at the end and how much we end up having in total so far this year. Now we did have 1 month active in December of 2021. That was about like $6,700, which was amazing on our first month. And then you can see kind of how everything has transitioned over this last little while. Now, if you're somebody who wants to actually sign up for Airbnb and get started as a host, I'm going to have a link down below for you. Sometimes that gives you a nice little bonus for going through that link and helps support us and this channel out. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to keep on learning and growing when it comes to managing your small business. Now, let's go ahead and take a look here. So January was an interesting month. You can see right over here, it was about $1,914. Now, that was actually because somebody who was staying towards the end of December stayed the whole entire month, so they got a really nice discount for the month of January. Now, one thing to keep in mind too, if you're very new to Airbnb and like these numbers, this is all before taxes and any expenses that we need to account for. So the nice thing is with our property, there is no mortgage on it, so everything is just cash flowing for us, but we still have to keep in mind, we have to put money aside for just overall taxes. We want to keep money aside for, paying the cleaners, replenishing supplies, and then just having some money set aside for like big replacements like a dishwasher or a refrigerator or something else going on with the house that we need to take care of. That's something to keep in mind. And in case you're somebody who's maybe needing to know what kind of account you should have, I actually love using Novo, which is where I use my Airbnb as far as having a bank account with them. There are a small business bank. I'll link them up in the show notes down below. You actually do for sure get a bonus with signing up on that link. And then the cool thing is for that, you can actually run all your business stuff in there and not have to worry about having it with your personal account. Now you can see here in our next month, this was February of 2022, we actually got paid out $5,330. So this is actually our second biggest month after December. And that was a great month. It was really exciting to get that much money. And this is where we really started to build a nice savings deposit for, again, those big emergencies, and then having some money set aside for taxes as well. You can see here for March, we dropped down a little bit here to $2,808. There was actually an issue that went on with one of our cleaners, and that was a huge headache when it comes to running an Airbnb, is making sure you got good cleaners. But nonetheless, we still made a really solid amount. And then you can see here in April, we ended up with $3,382. And then the next month, we definitely went up a nice chunk of change here at $4,561. Now, as we go through this, obviously we are trying to build up a good review system so that way people are giving us quality reviews. At this point, I believe we just started getting into being Superhost as well, because we hit the threshold for becoming a Superhost, which there are some requirements you want to make sure of. If you want to check out the rest of this channel, I do have some videos talking about some requirements when it comes to being an Airbnb host. I'll probably link it up at the end of this one for you too. And then you can see here in June, we had our biggest payout yet. Now, what's interesting is because of the Phoenix area, normally the summer months are not really very popular when it comes to getting, people booking. And that's a really big deal because we want to make sure our listing is actually full as much as possible. We don't want to leave dead days around. But luckily, we had some really good events going on, and we got over $7,180, which is by far our biggest month so far on our Airbnb hosting. Again, this is all from one house entirely. This is us being able to really focus in and like build up our understanding of how our Airbnb system will work. Now, also just to give you a little bit of context before we go into the next few months and showing you the full total for 2022 so far, is that this house, we actually changed it up so you can actually fit 4 bedrooms or 4 beds in there. So you can comfortably fit 8 people. You can really fit probably 10 if you wanted to. But we did adjust the house and was able to put 2 queen size beds in 1 bedroom, which really helped us increase the occupancy rate or occupants that can stay in the house, which then helps us get more bookings, because if there's a huge family or groups of people wanting to come together, it actually helps them save more money when there are more rooms together, so that way they can kind of lower the cost with one another. And I see that a lot when it comes to this opportunity. And some people that have been staying with us have also been traveling for work. So the nice thing is we do have a desk for people to work at, and I actually put that in the listing so people understand like, hey, if you're going to be here for work, you're going to have a desk that you can work at as well. Now, the next month here, you can see in July, this was our lowest month all of our overall listing. And this was 1,905. We actually did have a family, or not a family, we actually had a company that had their employees staying with us. Part of it was in June and the rest was in July. So a good portion of their stay actually came from the June portion and payout. And then July was a little bit of them and then another family that came in as well. So lower month, no problem. But because we had money saved aside, if we needed to have any expenses come out, we had that money set aside there. And then so far with August, this group is actually staying pretty much all of August. So this is going to be our only payout for the month, which is $2,883 for the month entirely, which is still a really, really good thing. Now, if we look over here, our total earnings for 2022 so far is $29,963. Like, holy smokes, I remember when I first got a full-time job, was working, I think my salary was around $32,000 for the year, and I'm about to hit that way before the end of this year. And usually around fall and winter time is like great time here in Arizona. That's when a lot of people want to come and travel. So we should be hopefully getting not only really good bookings, but also higher prices on those bookings. So it's just crazy to me that years and years ago, back in like 2008 and 9, I was making this much money working for somebody else, but now I get to work for myself and actually be earning this money and working hard for myself. It's a really cool thing. So if you're somebody who's really wanting to get started with Airbnb, make some extra money, maybe you don't get a whole house to be able to rent out, but maybe you got a room or, whatever it is that you can actually go ahead and get some extra earnings from. Definitely get started. It's a really great way to start earning some money for yourself and for your family. And like I mentioned, I will have an Airbnb link down below, but I'll also have the Novo Bank account that I personally like to use, and maybe some other tools for using Airbnb in the show notes down below for you. So you can go ahead and get started and really get that momentum going for you, so that way you can start earning this money, maybe invest it for future properties, and continue to build up that portfolio. What I want you to actually do next, after you check out those links in the show notes down below, is I'm going to post another video up here on the screen for you. You can check that out. That's going to help you continue to learn more when it comes to utilizing Airbnb and any other things that you need for running your small business. Because here's the thing, running an Airbnb is one thing, but running a small business is a whole nother game. So you want to make sure you're learning and growing all the time. My name is Dennis, and I'll see you in that next video.